Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead Q and A for today, leading up to the 6th episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to start with which actor convinced David Morrissey to play the governor, and a bit of a ratings update for The Walking Dead up to Season 8, Episode 5. And spoiler warning as per usual if you are not cut out for The Walking Dead, which is up to Season 8, Episode 5. So working on a few things right now. I'm changing up the backdrop a bit, so don't judge me. It's not done yet. I cleaned it. I gotta put a lot of figures back up, stuff like that. I'm gonna switch some things around. I'm gonna switch some of the posters out. Put in maybe a Stranger Things poster in there. I want to have more of kind of a spread out kind of approach to it. I don't want everything to just be Walking Dead, all the time, that kind of thing. So I want to have a little variety in there. So we'll see, but I do like Walking Dead backdrop too. It's kind of cool. So working on that right now. But anyway, put the link in the description for you guys so you can check this one out from cinemablend.com. This one just came out. And it's the news that originally David Morrissey was actually not sure about playing the governor in the Walking Dead TV series. And it was actually Lennie James who convinced him to do it. So it's pretty funny. It says, I remember me and David when he was offered the part of the villainous governor. We met up on Sunset Boulevard for a coffee. David said, what is it? Do I want to do this? And I said, yeah, you might do. So that's really cool. So it sounds like for the conversation, David Morrissey was not sold on playing the governor of the Walking Dead TV series because, hey, you think about it too, David Morrissey, does he seem like the kind of guy that reads comic books? No. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that reads comics. But at the same time, it sounds like he was kind of thinking about it. He wasn't sure. And Lennie James had to kind of talk him into it. Like, okay, you don't understand how big this show is currently. It's probably going to get. Even after the first 2 seasons, the buzz of the show is just crazy, right? So David Morrissey can definitely thank Lennie James for that tip to take the role of the governor. Go for it. And now, of course, if you guys don't know, he's actually been given an honorary doctorate. So he's a doctor. So it's actually Dr. Morrissey now, because of his work. And probably not just The Walking Dead, I'm sure, other things as well, too. But that's really cool. And, of course, in terms of notoriety, I mean, you see him. Like, if you just saw him walking down the street, you'd be like, oh, my God, it's governor, right? So Walking Dead's probably the biggest series he'll probably maybe ever work on. I'm not sure. But, we'll have to see. But, I mean, considering it beats Monday Night Football, you can't get much bigger than that, right? As far as a drama series goes, there's really only a few series that are ever going to be able to do that. And speaking of which, and how The Walking Dead's been doing that, just a quick update, but nothing crazy. Then we'll get into some other kind of questions and that kind of stuff. But about the ratings, a few people messaged me again this week because it actually slipped this week with episode 5 below 8 million. So it actually hit 7.89 million U.S. viewers. Negan and the Joker said the viewers for The Big Scary You is 7.89 million. What do you think, Trev? So people kind of wanted to hear my thoughts on this. I mean, I don't want to beat it to death. We've been touching on it maybe more than probably we should. But, I'll put it in there just so we can kind of give our quick comments. So it's a little bit lower than what it was the week before episode 4 going into episode 5. So what that's reflective of is probably not, some people didn't like episode 4, really. It slipped a little. Didn't slip a lot, and it still, I think, beat Monday Night Football last week. So still, it's like the number one, airing series for that week overall compared to everything else that's on TV. Is certainly still, I would say, a win, even though it's going down. But I am going to do a top 10 video probably tomorrow or the next day on my top 10 reasons why I think The Walking Dead has kind of declined in popularity over the last year. You guys can certainly put yours in the comments below on what you think those reasons should be, or what you think those reasons are. Why has The Walking Dead declined so drastically in just like a year or two? So definitely leave the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And I had another piece of information that's kind of cool. TV by the Numbers has it listed, and this is one I don't usually touch on, which is that the viewing percent for internet viewing of The Walking Dead is down by 42% this year. So for people that thought that The Walking Dead, not as many people are watching it live, more people are going to watch it online, more people are going to download it, torrent it, whatever. It looks like the stats on that, which are not widely publicized, but I had to dig and I found them. It's that they're down by 42%. So it's not just that the TV series on AMC is actually down, but afterwards as well too. Just interest overall is down a bit. So that's going to affect your sales of your DVDs, your Blu-rays. That's going to affect everything. That just basically means overall the interest is a little bit down. So it's what it is. I'll do a video on that next couple days. Top 10 reasons why. I think at this point, because I feel like there's enough information out there, and we've seen a lot. You guys can contribute in the comments below to me putting together the priority of the list and importance, like what's the biggest reason, what's the single biggest reason. So that's what I'm going to put together the next couple of days for you guys to give our thoughts on why we think it's declined as much as it has, as quickly as it has. And it's not really productive to just say, well, it sucks now. like why does it suck? What about it sucks? We got to get into those details, because in order for us to really understand. So leave those comments. Let me know for you, what is it you think? What's your theory? Why do you think it's down? And you can't explain it away as just technology or whatever. It is still down. So let me know what you guys think. Next one was from Kyle Collupy, who says, Trev Q and A, do you think Negan and Jadis are still working together to bring down Rick and the others? So this season. So I would say actually no. I do not think this season that Jadis and the Junkyard Group have been working with Negan. I think that the car race and the crash and the explosion got their attention, because, let's be honest, if you're anywhere within a radius that's going to hear that, it's going to get your attention. And that was noisy. You got a 50 cal shooting off. You got the cars racing down. You got the motorcycle. You got the explosion. Anybody within, a pretty good size radius is going to hear that, is going to be like, hey, send out a scout or something. And maybe if the helicopters from the junkyard, they scouted Rick first from there, and then the others kind of closed in on him, maybe that's what happened. Or maybe the helicopters from elsewhere, and they just kind of closed in on him anyway because he was on foot, his car being messed up from the 50 cal not being able to start afterwards, the engine. So it's good stuff. But I don't think Negan and Jadis are working together at this point. No, I don't think they're on the same page. I don't think I would consider the Junkyard Group saviors. Right now, I'd say I don't think we can say that the Junkyard Group are saviors. I don't think so. Next one is, I got a theory. When Negan tells Simon, are we backsliding? Do you think that Simon was probably the one that killed all the men at the Oceanside? And maybe Simon was originally the leader of the Saviors before Negan took over. Love to hear your thoughts on this, Mr. Trev. So I think that's a cool one. That is a cool kind of catch from the episode. There's a lot of dialogue in that episode. It's an extended episode. There's a lot of details in it, so there's things we could read. And I like that, backsliding. So maybe you're right. Maybe Simon was the one who killed all of the men from the Oceanside, and then Negan was like, WTF, dude. And that's kind of what's really great about episode 5, is it does take Negan and it does humanize him a little bit, so the audience kind of understands, okay, Negan's a bad guy, but he's not that bad. He's probably not as bad as the governor. And it also brings into play, if you want to just assassinate Negan and then Simon takes over, would it be even worse? And we get to see in that scene at the end that it looks like it probably would be worse. If Negan wasn't there and Simon took over, it might be worse. It might be worse for everybody, because Simon might go out there, and if he beats Rick and the group, he might kill them all. At least Negan is like, okay, we're going to capture the leaders of each group, and we're going to kill the leaders to send a message, and then everybody else gets to live under them. It still sounds brutal to do what Negan does, and it is, but maybe it's better than exterminating everybody, than just lining them up and shooting gallery, firing squad death for everyone. Maybe that's worse. So, because that's maybe what Simon did with the, I like it. I think that fits. I think that makes a lot of sense, that maybe Negan is still bitter about that. Even if Simon is his number 2, maybe Negan is not on board with just wiping out people like that, annihilating people like that. So, it's good. I like it. Q&A, if Glenn was with Rick, Trev, do you think he could have talked Morales into joining the survivors? He was a very good speaker when it came to that stuff. And that's one reason I think that's got to be on the list for the next video, where we talk about the top 10 reasons why the Walking Dead has declined. I really think killing Glenn had a huge effect on the show. I really do. Even when they're out on missions and they're out doing stuff, it still feels like something's missing. So we'll get more into that in that next video, but it kind of feels like Glenn was sort of the heart of the show, and I'll repeat this in the video. But basically my thinking is that Glenn is kind of like the heart of the show. When you kill Glenn off, it's like you're killing that kind of, because if you see Daryl's out and he's doing his thing. there's not a lot of heart there. Daryl's like Clint Eastwood. Norman Reedus has said that, kind of like Clint Eastwood with how he does it. As Daryl, he goes out and just kills people, does stuff. But he's kind of quiet. He does a lot of noises and grunting and stuff like that. But Glenn was like one that had heart. He was out there. He was looking after people. He was doing the best for people. And so now that he's out of the show, I gotta think that, man, I think that has a lot to do with what we're seeing right now. I really do. Because I just feel like something's missing. Jesus is kind of trying to put it in there. But, I think people were just so used to seeing Glenn. It was so cool. Stephen Yeun did such a great job that I do think so. So that's a good comment about that. And maybe Morales, if he could have talked Morales into it. I think he probably could have tried to. But at this point, it almost feels like, and people were talking about yesterday in the Q and A, that they're getting tired of the moral compass idea. You just go around and you pretty much have to kill everybody. And maybe with Morales, that's true anyway, because he did call the guys back, even though he knew it was Rick, or at least he was probably pretty sure it was the same Rick, Officer Friendly. So I think even if Glenn was there, he probably still would not have been able to talk Morales into it, because they'd only been together for a short while, and it's not like they grew up to it, it's not like they were Rick and Shane where they worked together for years. They're best friends. They helped each other out around the house and stuff like that. It's not really the same thing, but it would have been cool. And again, it's topic for that video, but I do think that there is definitely something missing from the show since Glenn has been killed. Storm Shadow says, Trev, do you think that Richard's trailer with the Molotov cocktails will play a part in the war? So I don't think so, Storm Shadow. That's a good callback to season 7, because they had that, they showed it. And he kind of looks like the governor, doesn't he? It's just kind of funny. They showed it and everything like that. And then after he was kind of gone, we've never really seen it again. So is it possible that that we will see it? Where is Morgan at this time? That's interesting as well, too, because he doesn't seem to be back at the kingdom yet. So we're going to have to catch up and find out where Morgan is at. But I would not be surprised if we did not see that kind of trailer, cabin type of thing that he had going on there in the brush. It was well hidden. It was a good location if you want to hide somebody or something like that. I kind of doubt we'll see it again. I really don't think we will. Even though, it's there. They could use it, but... in the story, as far as the story, I don't know if in location they'd have to rebuild if they want to use it. But I don't think we'll see it again, because it feels like, and same with the pigs thing. Having the pigs fill up on the zombie guts, they never really went back to that either. They kind of had it, but it didn't. It seemed like it might make the savior sick or something, and they never went with it. So maybe that's to show that doesn't work or something. I don't know. Dylan said, Trev, in hindsight, are you still disappointed that JDM was chosen over Henry Rollins in the role of Negan? JDM took a while to warm up to, but I think he's actually perfect for the role. Thanks, dude. So that's a really good question from Dylan. I did, originally I was like, oh man, it would be so cool to see Henry Rollins, and then they cast JDM. But you know what? I mean, JDM was awesome as the comedian in Watchmen. He's got a better smile. He's got he's got a wicked Negan smile. Like if you look at, I don't know, here's Negan or whatever, and you see these comic book drawings of Negan, JDM has a wicked cool smile that goes like with a psycho, so he's amazing. We got to see Henry Rollins a little bit in Z Nation, and he's great, man. It would have been cool to see him in the show, but it would have been hard to beat JDM. And clearly, in terms of auditions, JDM took it, man. JDM killed it. So even though at first I was like, oh man, it would be so cool to see Henry Rollins because he's a badass dude, but we also don't know if he has other prior obligations. We don't know if he's got a date scheduled for, I don't know, his music or comedy or whatever he's doing. We don't know, but JDM has done about as good of a job as Negan as you can probably get. I mean, I can't really see anybody, Henry Rollins or anybody else, doing much better. He might be more scary, but, I think Henry Rollins could play a more intimidating Negan than JDM. JDM feels to me a little bit more like a goofier kind of Negan, which like a more fun Negan. He does the serious stuff too, but for the most part, it's a lot of goofy stuff. So, I don't know. It would have been cool to see Henry Rollins do kind of the more angry, serious, crazy Negan. I'll beat your face in kind of Negan. But JDM's Negan, and they said this too in interviews, he has kind of a warmth to him as well, as he can do the darker stuff too, but he can also do kind of the comedy stuff. And I guess maybe they felt like that was more in line with their vision of who the character is. And who am I to judge? Kirkman's the one who created him, obviously. So they got to go with somebody. And plus, he's like, JDM's a straight up actor. He's not like, Henry Rollins he's an actor too. You can say that at this point, but it's not like he's a career. That's all he's done type of deal, 20 years or however many movies and TV shows and that kind of deal. He's done a lot of stuff, but JDM obviously is, he's like a pure actor, is what it is. He hasn't also been a musician and stuff like that. Torrid says, will Michonne kill Jadis based on what Jadis has done to Rick, capturing him and making him go naked, or mostly naked? Will she want to kill Jadis? She probably already wants to kill Jadis. She's been injured and stuff by Jadis's, people, and they probably want to. If she does anything to Rick, if Jadis hurts Rick or tries to do stuff to Rick or anything, definitely Michonne is probably going to want to get her. And also Michonne is very deadly. Let's not forget, she's the one who kills the governor pretty much, or at least she stabs him through. He's dead. He's dying at that point. Lily puts him down, but Michonne kills him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michonne is if Lily didn't come, he's going to die anyway. So he's going to be zombie governor pretty soon. So Michonne's a badass, dude. I mean, she's killed. She's a super badass for sure. Trev, people are still actually theorizing Morales is not dead. Morales lives forever, apparently in infamy. I'm surprised that I still get Morales comments even to this point. It's like, I thought this would be gone by now. It's just stupid at this point. It doesn't even make sense now. It's like, guys, come on, just get out of here. That's enough. So last one will be from Maddie TV, who says, hello Trev, just wanted your view on what the hell is happening with Maggie and the baby. Since the episode where Maggie had to be taken to the hilltop because of her stomach pains, we haven't seen any reference or anything to the fact that she's pregnant, and she doesn't even have a bump. What is your opinion on this? Loyal subscriber from the UK, Maddie TV. So it's the time frame. In terms of the TV series time, not that much time has actually passed. We certainly have not been at like a 9 months type of deal. If they do a time skip at the end of the year or season 9, going to season 9, I would expect to see the baby after that, and that would be pretty cool. But the only thing with the time skip is there might be some stuff in there people want to see. I'm sure a lot of girls would want to see Maggie give birth and do stuff like that, and that could be a cool scene. So we'll have to see what they do with that, if they do some kind of like time flash montage or something, or if they just skip over it and then we just see the baby after. Whatever they do. But yeah, we'll see it eventually. It's just that, right now it's like we got all that war, we got this other stuff, time is not passing that fast, so they'll get to it. That'll probably be after the war, I would say, for sure. And that'll be it for today's, Q&A, guys. So send me some more questions if you want to see another one tomorrow or the next day before episode 6. And that's it for this video, guys. Please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the Patreon account. It's www.patreon.com/TrevStan2. If you want to help out, you can do so through there. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.